Welcome everybody. I'm here from French Tech Berlin. I'm André Pitié. I'm very happy to welcome all of you to this webinar organized together with Business France. Today we are welcoming a few regions and cities like Paris, Grenoble, Alpes, Occitanie, Nouvelle-Aquitaine, Region-Sud, Grand-Est, Bourgogne-Franche-Comté, and they will all explain how they are welcoming startups who want to expand to France or founders who want to create a company in France, and to understand that everywhere in France, not just in Paris, like everywhere, there are very interesting clusters and people who are there to welcome you in English and help you find offices, employees, how to connect with the R&D there, how to get some funding and some help. So without further ado, I would like to welcome our first guest today from Business France to present a little bit how you are working and how you are connecting foreign founders with the regions. Laurent?
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, André. Maybe you have the presentation, the first slides.
I do have a presentation.
When it's coming, so I can say a few words before. So I'm Laurent, so I'm based in Düsseldorf, and I'm since like 20 years now in Germany, with 10 years in Berlin, so until 2014-15. And now I'm working for Business France in Düsseldorf. So a few official words about Business France, and then you will see how concrete we work with companies. So Business France is, as you can put the next slide. We'll put only a few next after, just a presentation about Business France, next one as well. Yeah. So we are, so Business France is officially the national agency of the French government, supporting the international development of French companies. So it means that we support French companies who want to export abroad, everywhere in the world, and as well as promoting and facilitating the international investment in France. So we support investors from foreign countries who wants to invest in France, to create some office, factories, and so, etc. So we support all kinds of companies, startups, small and medium-sized companies, international groups, in all sectors. So we are not specialists in any field, but we support every kind of company, so from every field. Yeah, we work confidentially, of course, because we are from the French government, and free of charge, of course. So our main objective is that you, as a company, create jobs in France and activity in France. Yeah. So the next slide. Thank you. So we are like 1,400, 500 people in the world. Most of them in foreign countries. And our headquarters is in Paris, in the fourth, so in Paris, Denfert-Rochereau. Sorry, I forget the place in Denfert-Rochereau. And you can put the next slide. And we are mainly based in embassies or consulates. Yeah, sometime in some local ecosystems, but basically we are based in embassies and in consulate. In Düsseldorf, we are based in the French consulate, next to the Königsallee, it's not so far. And we are 5 people dedicated to German investors who want to create activity in France. So a colleague of mine is responsible for Bayern, another one for Baden-Württemberg, another one for Nordrhein-Westfalen, and another one for north of Germany. For me, as I'm responsible for all the other Bundesländer, as well, Länder in Germany, so Berlin, Brandenburg, Sachsen, Sachsen-Anhalt, Thüringen, Hessen, and Saarland. So we are about 12 people dedicated to the DACH zone, also for Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and Benelux. So that's the official presentation of Business France, so based in Düsseldorf. Something very important, I think, is that you have to understand that we work on 2 levels. On a regional level and on a national level. So on a regional level, we work with our speakers today, those that we know very well in every office in the world. They are really our correspondents. And how we work concretely, as every Friday, to be very concrete, every Friday we are with our colleagues from the regions connected to a platform, as in France, and represent the project from everywhere in the world that we detected, that we support, and say, okay, this company or this startup or this big firma want to expand in France, and they are looking for offices, for factories, they are looking for special ecosystems. So we present the project every Friday. The regions, also the speakers who are here today, listen to the project and come back to us with some proposal to welcome the investors. And then we speak with you again, of course, for the rest of the process. Yeah. So it's quite easy. So we make mainly connection with our partners in the regions, and then we can go further for many projects. Sometimes we're in contact with a company after one interview, and then 2, 3, 4 months later, we are with a company in France and we present already potential partners to implement their activity. So it can be very quickly. That's why it's very important. So if you speak directly with the regions after the presentation, that we are still connected, that Business Fund is still in copy of your exchange, so that we can orient you for maybe other regions or to coordinate your work with many regions, because it can be very difficult to follow all the regions after. So we are there to coordinate the process. Yeah. So that was the regional part of our work. Yeah. And the more national part of the job is, especially now with the current geopolitical situation, it's very important that we know your project, because we can bring them sometime to a more national level. So we are connected with our headquarters in Paris, as I said in the beginning, and with our ministerial cabinets, so the main administrative departments, like the Direction Générale des Entreprises, or the DGE, or we can connect you with B2B meetings in Paris. We can connect you with organizers for trade fairs like Vivatech, or the MIPIM, which will be in Cannes this year, and many others. So it's very important that we keep in touch with you, because yeah, we need we can bring your project sometime to a more national level. And it works not quite easily. Our contacts are in Paris, as I say. We have a German contact in the headquarters, and we make the connections quite easily. So, and I forget to speak about one of our partners, the French Public Investment Bank, for example, the BPI. We can connect you with them in Paris or in the countries or in the regions. Yeah. So just a few words here to say how we work, so regionally and nationally. So it's very important that we keep in touch after the presentation. And yeah, for myself, I'm often in Berlin or in Germany. So if you want to connect or to have interviews later, I'm at your disposal for any question as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Laurent. We share all of the presentation on our website, FrenchTechBerlin.com. And you can ask questions already in the chat, and we will answer to them at 1:30 after the presentations of everybody. We continue now with Romain Erny from Choose Paris.
Hello, André. Hello, everyone. So thank you. Thank you, French Tech Berlin and Business France, for the kind invitation. I don't know if you can put my presentation, André.
Absolutely.
On the slide. Thank you so much. So my name is Romain Erny. I work for Choose Paris Region. So Choose Paris Region is a non-profit organization, mainly financed by the Paris region, local governments. Just a few words, a bit of geography, but Paris region, it includes the city of Paris and 7 counties surrounding Paris, where you can have where you have the business district of La Défense, the 2 main airports, where you have Versailles and the Plateau de Saclay, one of the top European innovation cluster, and also on the east part where we have, for instance, Disneyland. So if you go, and so 12 million inhabitants, and we have the equivalent, the GDP is equivalent to the Netherlands, just to give you just two figures to explain the Paris region. I put in my slide three main reasons why you may consider, just the slide before, André, why you might consider expanding in the Paris region. First, business first. You have the highest concentration of Fortune 500 in Europe in the Paris region. So just, it's a logo dropping in the slide, but just to mention also that we have a very diversified economy in the Paris region, going from banking to energy, construction, telco, also mobility, aeronautics, space, and else, when you see Sanofi logo on the slide. So first reason, business, and you should find potential customers easily in the Paris region. Then second reason is talent. If you can, next slide, André, thank you. Obviously, unique pool of talent in Europe. Just the last figure, 30% of the student population in France is located in the Paris region. And especially in the south, again, I mentioned the top universities like Sorbonne universities, Polytechnique, Université de Paris-Saclay, which are ranking among the top universities through the Shanghai ranking. And I put in my slide a guide where we edited on the website. You can download it, and it's give you some explanation about how to build your team in the Paris region. And then if you go next slide, and the last reason is we have a wide range of many accelerator program, and you may recognize Station F, the French flagship for startups in Paris, but we have many others accelerator program, and I would say that they are more and more open to international or foreign startup, and we strongly advise you to connect with those accelerators. It's a good advice to start your expansion in France and in the Paris region. Again, I put two resources. One is our guide. You can download it in our website. It's mainly you have by sectors or by maturity, you can find all the program covering the accelerator facilities in the Paris region, and also a map in our website. So those are the three main reasons. And then, André, if you can skip on the next slide. Just to answer a previous question we had before before starting, we have so you have the national grants or national R&D tax credit, for instance, if you want to do R&D in France. But also we have two important funding subsidies you can apply when you will be set up in the Paris region. The first is the Paris Region AI Challenge. I would like to say that the Paris region government strongly push the development of artificial intelligence in the region. And so last year it was on the health tech. The year before it was on mobility. So we will have this year again a new challenge. So you can apply alone, but it's preferable to apply with a consortium of companies to get granted for this AI challenge. And Innovate, which is more standard if you want to do also innovation program, not only R&D, but we can speak later on that on one-to-one. Next slide, André. I hope I can make the 5 minutes. So this is our services. Those services, like my fellow colleagues from other regions, all services are free of charge and fully confidential, but it's really depending on your needs. So you have all the information on the slides. but happy to be connected on LinkedIn or by email. And I just wanted to mention and to finish by the next slide, André, especially on we don't do business development for companies, but we do organize some event to connect you with big corporates we know. And those events called tech meetings, and we organize 5 tech meetings a year. And you can it's basically half a day event in Paris or in the Paris region, where you have big corporates and it's conference, but also B2B one-to-one meeting pre-organized. So those are the topic. You have the link. I put it in my presentation, so you can apply. We just opened the second one, which called Sustainable Futures on Decarbonization, on Low Tech, on the energy. And this will be held in NG Business District of La Défense. And we have already Schneider, Total Energy, and many other groups that are coming to our event. So you can apply. If you've been selected, you can join and spend half a day in Paris. And the next one is on June. Afterwards, it's on June, just before Vivatech, mentioned by Laurent. But this is also on generative AI, and it's going to be hosted at Cisco office in a beautiful Paris 8th district. So it's it's very, I think you can have the value to travel to Europe, to Paris for these events. And this is it, my presentation. I hope I make the... So you can go on the website, my email and my colleague Oliver, and we can, I'm happy to answer your question afterwards.
Thank you very much, Romain. And I said earlier, if you go on FrenchTechBerlin.com, you will see our event of today. And if you click, you can find all of the presentations in PDF format that are shown today. So, for example, the Romain presentation is already available if you want. Thank you very much. We continue with Grenoble. Alexandrine.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Alexandrine Romestant. I work at Invest in Grenoble, which is the team dedicated to promote Grenoble ecosystem in France and internationally, and to support international entrepreneurs who want to set up their business in Grenoble. So I will try to give you a general overview of Grenoble ecosystem. At the beginning, just general figures about Grenoble. So it's a middle-sized area which is not too big, not too small, with a strong international dimension. We welcome each year several thousands of researchers and students coming from internationally. Grenoble is also located not too far from Paris, only 3 hours by high-speed train, and very close to Lyon and Geneva international airports. So it's very easy to come to Grenoble. And I just wanted to highlight that Grenoble is very involved in sustainability, and we were the European Green Capital in 2022, and both public authorities and private companies are involved in these issues. So here you can see some of the main international leaders we have in Grenoble. Some of them were born here, others came to set up. But what is interesting here is that you can see the geographical specificity of Grenoble, because as you can see, we are surrounded by 3 mountain ranges. And because of that, we have a unique concentration of economic and research actors within a 20 kilometers radius. And because of this unique concentration, there is lots of communication, and it's very easy to connect and to interact with these actors. Next slide, please. So now about our innovation ecosystem. So Grenoble is the second research hub in France. R&D represents more than 30,000 jobs in our economy, with an equal part between public and private jobs. We have European research facilities for fundamental research, but also the CA, which is the first most innovative public research institute in the world. Also one of France's top 3 world-class centers for excellence in AI, with a focus on energy, healthcare, and Industry 4.0. And about our university, Grenoble-Alpes University is the first university in Europe in terms of patents fields. In Grenoble, we are lucky to have a strong partnership between innovation, research, and industry. And so here you can see some of the main industrial actors we have in our region. So you can see also the different business sectors we address. For example, we have ST Microelectronics, leader in microelectronics and semiconductors, born in Grenoble in the 70s. It's a spin-off from the CEA Research Center. Also energy, with, for example, Air Liquide, leader in hydrogen, and Schneider Electric, born in Grenoble 1 century ago and working in energy efficiency. Also Vercor, the French startups born in Grenoble and which has raised more than 2 billion euros to build their next gigafactory for batteries for electric vehicles. We have also lots of AI and IT with, for example, Capgemini, and also healthcare with, for example, Becton Dickinson and Trixel. So a few words about our startups. So since 2000, we have 750,000 which have been created in Grenoble. And their specificities is that 40% of them come from academic research, because as I said, we have lots of research centers in Grenoble, and so lots of spin-off. 44% of our startups work in deep tech, and 85% are on B2B markets. And you can see the strong increase of funds raised by our startups in the past years. And yesterday we topped the 4 billion euros raised by our startups with the funds raised by Renaissance Fusion, a startup in Grenoble working on nuclear fusion. And how we do that is because we can rely on an innovation ecosystem from education to funding. We have lots of banks, but also the Public Bank of Investment, BPI France, and also incubators and accelerators, obviously, with one labelized French Tech Visa, and also clusters that can help startups to develop depending on their sector of activity and maturity. How I can support you at Invest in Grenoble, we have a soft learning program dedicated to startups, and the idea is to organize once or twice a year a boot camp where we welcome a dozen of international entrepreneurs to let them discover our ecosystem. And we organize dedicated meetings with industrial companies, with startups, also masterclasses with experts dealing on how to deal with, to set up in France. For example, with lawyers, with banks, with experts in innovation fundings. So that's it for my presentation. If you want to know more about Grenoble or our soft learning program, do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alexandrine. And we continue with Camille and Julien for Occitanie.
Yes, maybe I wait just you open the presentation.
Yes.
Hello, Suzerman. Hello, everyone. It's a true pleasure to speak with you. I am Camille, and I work for ADOC, the Economic Development Organization of the Occitanie region. But I love all the region in France because France it's a fantastic country. Today, I will prove in 5 minutes that you can live in a wonderful region. You can see pictures, full of diversity and very good quality of life, but be at the heart of one of the richest innovation ecosystem in France and Europe. So what is Occitanie? It's one of the largest regions in France, the second one, with the highest population growth rate. We are 6 million people, and we have access to different landscape. We have access to Mediterranean Sea, Pyrenees, a beautiful mountain range, On our region, you have two main cities. Maybe you know them, Montpellier and Toulouse, ranked in many surveys as the best city to live or study every year. Access to talent is not a problem in Occitanie because we have nearly 300,000 students. It's a very huge number of students, and all the national research institutes are present in Occitanie. So R&D is in our DNA, in particular thanks to private research investment. As you can see, with 3.7% of our GDP, we have the highest rate of R&D efforts. And as we are positioned in south of Europe, it's a strategic position between Spain and Italy. We have also a very good access to North African market from Occitanie. And you can go everywhere very easily thanks to an excellent network of highways, airports, or motorways. In this picture, you can see a very famous bridge called the Viaduc de Millau. You can reach Montpellier Paris from Montpellier, by this bridge. Here you have you will find a global vision of the sector where Occitanie is well placed. Of course, we are one of the world leaders in aeronautics and space. Toulouse is home of Airbus. We have a strong policy and a lot of projects in renewable energy and green mobility. We aspire to be the first region with positive energy by 2050, thanks to a lot of projects, hydrogen project, offshore wind energy, etc., etc. In the past few years, Occitanie and more particularly Montpellier has been a kind of El Dorado of the cultural and creative industries, with a very huge number of specialized schools, cinema studios, video games companies. So ICC, it's a huge sector in development in our region. And just to finish in this slide, I will focus on healthcare. It's a very important sector in Occitanie. We have an academic excellence and strong oncologic institute. We are well equipped in digital health or medical robotics. We have a lot of surgery robots company in Montpellier, for instance. Just to focus on tech industry, it's a strong sector for us. This industry generates more than 8 billion euro turnover, with nearly 20,000 companies and more than 100,000 jobs. So it's a big sector. All these sectors are federated by one digital cluster called Digital Central. But we have tens of sub-clusters in IoT, in gaming, in healthcare, in mobility, and we want to deal very closely with ethic AI subjects. In 2024, to show you the dynamic of the region, Occitanian company get the capacity to succeed. Fundraising remain quite high level with more than 406 million euro. At the national level in France, this figure is falling, but in Occitanie, it was increased by almost 30% compared to previous years. So it's technology and fundraising are very dynamic. Julien, maybe you can follow.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Julien, and I work for Toulouse Team Invest, the economic development agency of of Toulouse. We decided with Camille to talk together to see and to show you that the city and the regional level works very closely together for your sustainable growth in our territory. So as Camille mentioned, Toulouse is a major hub for aeronautics and space industries, but thanks to these very high-tech sectors, we've developed strong skills and competences in AI, and I'm going to come back about this topic on the next slide. But most of all, we're the most attractive city, elected the most attractive city for the second year in a row by the Arthur Lloyd barometer. So the digital sector in Toulouse and Occitanie, Camille talked about it already, but what I want to focus on ANITI, the Artificial and Natural Intelligence Toulouse Institute. That's one of the AI clusters in France that have been presented earlier on by Grenoble and Paris as well. So it's part of a network dedicated to strengthen the position of France in terms of AI research. In Toulouse, it represents more than 300 researchers, both coming from academia and private companies, with major specialties in healthcare, mobility, and IoT 4.0. Indeed, we're the biggest industrial hub in France. So anything related to innovation for the industry, that's definitely Toulouse the place to be. We are lucky enough also to have international corporations for AI dedicated to hybrid AI certification, and we developed the next algorithm in Toulouse of AI that are certifiable, explainable, and in the end embeddable. You're going to find as well in Toulouse an exceptional network of innovation catalysts. So you're going to find the right accelerators and incubators for the right stage of your growth and development of the company. Of course, the clusters have been mentioned and are diverse enough for any industry. And most important, maybe you're going to find the right funding, whether it is dilutive or non-dilutive for your company. And to testify about that, you're going to see all the recent fundraisers that have happened at the regional level. So, of course, a lot of space and aeronautics industry, but other big fundraisers happen in the retail industry, in the construction industry as well, in the materials, in battery, and also in coding architectures for apps. So definitely a wide range of sectors that can find a very dynamic and vibrant ecosystem in Toulouse.
Yes, so if you want to develop your activity in our territory, ad hoc, it's your gateway. We are the largest agency in France with 180 employees, and we have also an office abroad in New York, Casablanca, Shanghai, Tokyo. We have also a representative in Hamburg. Thanks to our partner, we can help you at any stage of your development. We offer you a lot of services free of charge, of course. Thanks to this, you can see it's possible to do that in a very rich frame with a lower cost of living. And as I mentioned before, we are new 50,000 new inhabitants every year. So why not you? Thank you for listening, and you can contact with Julien and I whenever you want.
If you want to meet me in person as well, I'll be at GITEX in Berlin late May.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And once again, you can find all of the presentation on FrenchTechBerlin.com if you want to see it more later. And we continue with Magali Roux from Nouvelle-Aquitaine.
Oh, good afternoon. Thank you, La French Tech, and for the invitation, and thank you all for being online with us. So it's now time to move on to the southwest of France, and I am Magali Roux. I'm in charge of inward investment for the Nouvelle-Aquitaine region, in close relationship with our agency, which is called Invest in Nouvelle-Aquitaine. And I'm going to try and give you an insight into how we address support to startups. So our regional capital, Bordeaux, is of course well known all over the world for its good wines. But just for you to know that Nouvelle-Aquitaine is not just Bordeaux and wines. It has a lot of diversity and a true European scope. To give you an idea, it's more or less as large as Austria. So it's a place that is very appreciated by tourists at all seasons, but it's also a great place for business with many connections to the rest of Europe and to the world. For more than a decade now, Nouvelle-Aquitaine has developed a really proactive policy in favor of startups. And the idea for us is that regional funding to individual projects is just one piece of a bigger puzzle. So we believe that supporting startups from really early stage to scaling up an industrial phase requires this kind of global holistic approach. And we have, of course, partners to secure funding issues and all the ecosystem, but the idea is really that the region makes sure that the startup connects with the right people, public or private organizations or peers, and really for all aspects of the project. So we also offer visibility and business opportunities, for instance, on regional booths on major international events. We are present at Viva Technology in Paris, at CES in Las Vegas, Web Summit in Lisbon. And by the way, if you happen to be at one of these events, just come and say hello. We'll be glad to meet you there. As I mentioned, Bordeaux is well known and it's a very dynamic and it's a great place for startups. But even if you cannot read all the small names on the screen, the idea was just to show you that the region also makes sure that wherever you might choose to settle, you will find the right people to help you. So it's not just in Bordeaux, but also in the rest of the region. And for some sectors, you could be interested in specific locations that have this specificity in your field. For instance, just to name a few, if you have a food tech or agri-tech project, we have Agen with the Agropole, which is specialized in that. And if you are, for instance, in advanced materials, the ecosystem around Limoges could be of interest to you. So just to give you the picture globally. Will not be too long on our criteria and rates for financial support, but the idea is that regional subsidy is, well, part of the package, and just be sure that for each individual project, our expert team will analyze our project so that the best support can be provided. And just you have a few figures on the slide, but they're just the figures of the startup departments. But startups are also supported by other departments such as research or industrial development. So it's just part of the picture. What is important to know is that we have a strong policy which is called Neoterra. It's the logo you see on the screen, which is aiming at supporting a global approach to transitions regarding economy, ecology, society as a whole, so a global approach. And we are really keen on supporting projects in line with that. So if you have projects dealing, for instance, with carbon capture, air water pollution treatment, biocontrol, low carbon material, and so on, this is really of interest for us. If you are in topics such as marketplaces, online training, marketing, it could be a little bit more difficult to get regional subsidy, but it does not mean that you can't get support from the ecosystem. And just two facts I'd like to emphasize is that we have new rules to encourage more specifically women under 30. And we have also a watchful eye on projects, including collaborations with academic or industrial partners. So on the next slide, you have just a few examples of either French or foreign companies that have recently chosen to grow in Nouvelle-Aquitaine. And by the way, Germany is always ranking among the first 3 countries investing in Nouvelle-Aquitaine. It's true that it's often a reinvestment by big companies, but we also have quite a few interesting new projects. And to quote, but the most recent of them, it was end of last year that Gauss Fusion, a European leader in nuclear fusion energy, decided to open a center of excellence in Bordeaux near their partner Alsen. And the team, it is announced that the team should grow from 10 to like 100 people over the next 5 years. In a nutshell, here are a few keywords just to try and help you remember Nouvelle-Aquitaine, and I'd like to emphasize once again our commitment to a sustainable approach to growth. This is important to us. A few years ago, we used to say that we were the French California when we were on CES. That's an image we no longer like that much, but I think you get the idea. And just to finish with a few faces, because I'm not alone in that. On the next line, you have the team that you will meet if you consider growing your business in Nouvelle-Aquitaine. So with the names in black, you have the Invest in Nouvelle-Aquitaine team to guide you in your decision. It is a free service as all the other agencies. And I also put on the slide in the names in red, the startup team of the region who will be there to support your project. And by the way, if you happen to be at Vivatech in June, don't hesitate to come and say hello, because most of the faces here will be there. So that's it for me. Thank you for your attention, and looking forward to know more about your projects.
Thank you very, very much. And after Magali, thank you, Magali. Philippe, 1 or 2 words to present what you are doing in Bordeaux with French Tech Bordeaux, one of the most active French tech.
Thank you, André. Hello, everyone. I'm Philippe Métayer, the General Manager of La French Tech Bordeaux. Do you have the slide, André?
Yes.
There's only one slide. It's really short. I'm in charge of federating and animating the local innovation ecosystem and organizing actions that have local, national, and international impacts. One of my goals is to help the local actors to compete on a global market. Our ecosystem gathers, of course, entrepreneurs and also investors, engineers, designers, developers, media, large companies, and government agencies, of course. All the players who are working towards startups' growth and international promotion. And in Bordeaux and Nouvelle-Aquitaine, there's not only Bordeaux and wine, as Magali said, but also a vibrant ecosystem with more than 1,000 startups in various fields, such as green tech, video games, health tech, biotech, aeronautics, spatial and defense, and so many other sectors.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We have to continue with the next one. Maybe one last thing is, when is your next big event?
Our next big event is La French Tech Night on May, and it will be a good opportunity for you to discover the ecosystem, of course. And right. Last but not least, good vibes and quality of life I really appreciate here, so you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Philippe. To answer Victor's question in the chat, you can find links to the LinkedIn profiles of every speaker on FrenchTechBerlin.com on the page dedicated to this webinar, as well as the PDFs where you can see the email address of the people who are speaking today. Thank you very much, Philippe. And we continue with Antonin from RisingSud with Maeva.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. We continue our Tour de France. I'm Antonin, Chef Manager in charge of business setup for RisingSud, the economic development and attractiveness agency of Region-Sud, Provence, Alpes, Côte d'Azur. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to speak on this panel today among fellow agencies. Joining me today are my colleagues Amine, Bennani, International Project Manager in charge of the Smart Tech sector, and our partner, Mrs. Maeva Denis from Provence Promotion. So, of course, following this presentation, we'll remain at your entire disposal to provide you with any further information that could fuel your thoughts about our territory. Take it away, Amine.
Yeah, hi everyone, and so thanks to André and the French Tech Berlin for organizing this event. So yeah, as Antonin was saying, what we are doing, so we are really in the economic development agency of the South region in France, which is basically the Southeast quarter, and one of our main mission is to attract investments and talents on the regional territory. And for that, we provide a free confidential assistance at every stage of the company's development in France. And it's really a tailor offer regarding the needs of the business. We provide what the business needs to make his settlement in the South region a success. It can go from connecting to the ecosystem to provide the real estate proposals, going from co-working offices or other offers, visiting and scheduling with the ecosystem or potential business partners, the funding, etc., etc. The idea is really to adapt on the needs of the company and make its soft landing in France, in south of France, a real success. About the region, so as I said, so we are the southeast region of France, the South region, and very rich region, also very well known for its quality of life, but not only. It's a dynamic region of 5 million inhabitants with 4 big metropolises, which are Marseille, Nice, Toulon, and Avignon. It's a very innovative region with we are on the edge of technology and regarding also subjects like AI with the Sofia Antipolis Technopark, which is the first technology park in Europe, and with very innovative companies operating from there. And it's also a region full of talents where we have the chance to have the widest French-speaking university in the world, which is the Aix-Marseille University. We have already very close relationships to Germany, because Germany today is our second foreign investor in the South region. We have 15 companies, German companies, who have settled up in the South region since 2020, and 15 only for the past year in 2024. And some of the top German companies who have chosen the South region are displayed in the slide. You can see Bosch, Daxer, SAP, among other innovative companies.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, on our next slide, we want to emphasize a little bit the capital funding for startups in our region. So, as you know, financing is a key driver for innovation and growth. The south of France offers strong financial opportunities for startups. From what you can discover here, basically, you have to remember that the region has seen record growth in startup funding, particularly in energy, clean tech, blue tech, healthcare, and digital sectors. We're so far the third most dynamic region in France in terms of amounts raised. What could be very interesting for you as well is that the region and RisingSud are co-organizing a financing committee twice a year. It's an event that connects over 100 public and private funders. Means that it's an opportunity for project leaders to pitch to national and in the future international investors. We can basically assist selected companies with businesses model analysis, financial planning, valuation, pitch preparation in order to maximize the chances of securing investment. So whether you're a startup or a scaling company, we do provide the tools and network to help you secure capital. Regarding public financial support, we do offer a collective support with the national, regional, and local economic development actors in order to ensure that your project could be financed as effectively as possible. On one hand, we can help projects applying to European tenders. On the other hand, our region has been labeled by the French government to pre-qualify projects towards a France 2030 bid. This initiative being the 55 billion investment plan launched by the French government to support innovation, industrial competitiveness, ecological transition. And at our level, at the regional level, our main financial tool is Region-Sud development. It allows the support to high potential business projects that are combining productive investment, job creation. It's a support that is available through a mix of grants and repayable advance. But we do also offer support to projects through R&D financing and through a financement of feasibility studies or pre-industrial phases. And last but not least, we do have a co-investment fund that can be called upon for equity loans and capital participation. You have to remember that we just don't help you to set up. Once you're located in our territory, we will then help you scale up, decarbonize, export, raise funds, and facilitate your business growth in our territory. We'll strong financial banking, strategic support, and you can skip to the last one, no problem. And a dynamic ecosystem. Thank you very much, André. Region-Sud is the ideal place for your business expansion. So we'll be happy to build your future here. Thank you very much for your time and attention. And you'll find our contacts in this slide, as well as details of all the forthcoming trade shows and events where we'll look forward to seeing you.
Thank you, Antonin. Thank you very much. And thank you, everybody, also for everybody who has been talking already. Honestly, although I'm very much interested in the topic, I discover new information with each speak. So very valuable for me. We continue shortly with 2 minutes with Maeva Denis from Provence. So inside Region-Sud, you have also a little bit like we presented Toulouse inside Occitanie. We now go to Provence.
Yes, hi everyone from Marseille. So I'm Maeva Denis for Provence Promotion, and so let's focus more about Marseille, ex-Marseille, which is the second biggest city in France, and I think one of the most exciting places in France for deep tech startups that are looking for scale. So five facts to have in mind. It's about Marseille is kind of the global gateway at the crossroad of Europe, Africa, and the whole Mediterranean places, with the France's largest port and the dynamic tech ecosystem. Also, about Aix-Marseille University, my colleague already talked about that, but it's one of the largest universities in France with some world-class research centers that provide a strong pipeline of engineers, scientists, and PhD, with some good Shanghai ranking about artificial intelligences, computing, quantum, and biotech and medtech. And they are quite open to international collaboration, and they have put in place a network of business developers by scope and cover lab, and I can put you in contact if you want with the right people of this ecosystem. Also, you already talked about some investment hub, so you can have access to the major European funding programs and the financing for startup to launch proof of concept. By 2050, it's kind of 55 billion euros in structural investments, and the government it's investing a lot on strategic projects. I mean, you heard about some data center project, deep tech infrastructure, and health with the Marseille Immunology Biocluster, which will be a mondial hub about immunology. Also, Aix-Marseille is not just about having big companies, because we have some, but it's also to building some spaces for startups to drive into the ecosystem with Obratory, for example, that is a wellness retail tech acceleration program, The Box from CMA CGM for maritime innovation, Accelerator M, and we are
quite excited to officially announce the opening of Plug and Play Tech Transfer with an offices in Marseille. Plus we have Atlantis. It's a IoT, artificial intelligence and blockchain hub, a cybersecurity hub, and a French largest medtech and biotech cluster with Eurobiomed. And as we say, let's talk about lifestyle, because lifestyle is quite important. And because why work in the cold when you can enjoy like 3,000 days of sunshines a year? And Marseille is kind of offering you a lower cost of living than Paris, Berlin or Zurich, for example, and with really good work-life balances that attract more and more talents, because for this Californian lifestyle that you can have here. So if you're looking for high-grow, well-connected and innovation-driven ecosystem, Aix-Marseille is kind of the place to be. So
Okay.
please connect and let's chat if you want. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I wonder why I invited you, because now I don't know what I'm doing in Berlin.
Yes, I understand.
We continue with Dirk from Grand-Est. Maybe not 300 days of sun, but it's also quite nice. Dirk.
Definitely, yeah. Thanks a lot, Andre. Well, I've lived in Marseille for 14 years, so I know what the sun is all about, and especially the heat as well. So yeah. But well, I'm starting off very quickly, but it's always interesting to learn, as you said, Andre. I never knew that Nouvelle-Aquitaine was as big as Austria. Well, I'm Austrian myself, so it's always good to learn new things. So, but anyways, hello everyone, hello, and I'm happy obviously to be here today. A big thanks to André and the French Tech Berlin for the invite. Well, as you might have heard, well, my name is Dirk Winkler from the Foreign Direct Investment Agency Invest in Eastern France, and today, together with my colleague Warren Michel from our regional incubator network, we will focus on how we can help you as a foreign startup to establish and grow in France, and specifically in the Grand-Est region or in Eastern France. So before we dive in, well, it's been very popular today. Everyone is doing sort of a course or a lesson in geography. So the Grand-Est is not going to make any exceptions. So let's quickly look at the Eastern France location. As you can see, well, within both France and Europe, as you can see, our region is actually nestled in a very strategic neighborhood with our European friends. We have Belgium and Luxembourg to the north, Germany to the east and south, and obviously never forget our Swiss friends to the south as well. And Frankfurt is just 1 hour and 50 minutes train ride away, while Stuttgart and Karlsruhe are practically just next door. So I think this is worthwhile mentioning. So obviously being in our region, means benefiting from the best of both worlds. Well, we have 2 major high-speed train lines, well, connecting obviously, for example, Strasbourg to Paris in just 1 hour 45 minutes. Well, further to the west, for those who love champagne, so obviously wine still is something that counts or seems to count. Well, the city of France, which is in the heart of Champagne region, is actually only 40 minutes from Paris by high-speed train. So if you want to be in Paris without being in Paris, well, Reims definitely is quite a good place to be. So we actually the only French region that obviously share 7 kilometers or more than 700 kilometers of border. I'd rather say actually common space, because well, the word border is probably not appropriate anymore. But we share about 700 kilometers of common space with our European partners. And we obviously would not want to claim to be the heart of Europe. I think many countries and many regions actually make that claim too, quite rightly, certainly. But Eastern France certainly is one of Europe's hearts. So enough, don't worry, this is all about geography. So let's get to what's obviously really important to you as a startup in our region. Well, we've got about 750 startups, eight incubators, one accelerator, and obviously, like every region, we have a French Tech Hub as well. 5 innovation clusters that are especially focused on health around Strasbourg and Nancy. We've got bioeconomy around Reims, mobility around Mulhouse. And by the way, Eastern France actually has, in 2024, has come out third, attracting most FDI projects in France. So over the last years, we've actually been regularly among the top 5 regions. Obviously, to develop your startup, aid and funding are very, very crucial, and we'll get to that right now. But so is talent, and our region hosts 5 major universities with very strong focus on engineering, health, and as well recently quantum computing. And that makes up a total of about 215,000 students. So I'll now hand over to Warren, who will tell you about our regional incubator network, which I think is quite unique of its kind, or in its kind. And he will explain how you can fully benefit from this incubator network. Warren, now we can pass on to the next slide.
And thank you, André. So my name is Warren. I'm a startup manager inside a startup incubator that is called Femia. As you can see on the map, it's in Strasbourg. We are working on all the Alsace sub-region in the Grand-Est region. So I currently live in Strasbourg. If you ever feel homesick from Berlin, like Dirk said, Germany is only 10 minutes away from the city center of Strasbourg. So you can go to Germany and enjoy some beers or things like that. But we have a lot of things German, I'd say, in Alsace. And whether you want to speak in German or English or anything, we have people that speak whether English or German or both, like Dirk. So it's a plus, I'd say, on our list of things if you want to come in the Grand-Est region. So I work at Semia. We are right now accompanying around 130 startups in the different fields. I will speak about that just right after. But what is quite unique in the Grand-Est region is that we are working a lot with the Grand-Est region itself as a public authority, with Grand-Est Development, where Dirk is working, and we are organized as a network. So whether you want to establish your startup in Reims because you are working on bioeconomy things, or you want to establish in Strasbourg because you are more working on healthcare issues, you have only one, I'd say, interlocutor, which is Quest for Change. So if you are speaking with Dirk or anyone else at the Grand-Est region and you want to establish your startups, we will be in touch. So feel free to contact whoever you want. So we are public network of the incubator. So which means that we don't take any equity in any startup. We are here to help. We are kind of an outside counsel for startups, and we help you on anything from establishing in the Grand-Est region with our partners to help you find money. So meaning fundraise. So we help you on going from the seed phase to the Series A phase. And we are right now at Quest for Change 55 persons. So we have a lot of different expertise. So in numbers, in 2024, we accompany around 300 startups. They are the repetition between the different, I'd say, area of industry are between industry, health, digital, and bioeconomy. We have 3 different, I'd say, own clusters, which are Quest for Industry, and Quest for Bioeconomy. The idea is that as incubators, we can be forced to help local industries to work with startups. So this is what we are doing with those Quest for things. So last year, our startups raised around 100 million euros, half dilutive and half non-dilutive. So 31 million plus million euros as turnover, and we are currently accompanying 1,700 founders and employees. And as of now, we are still accompanying in 2025 around 240 startups. So we know how to accompany startups. And more importantly, a third of all those startups are deep techs. So we know how to accompany deep tech startups also, whether it is in bioeconomy industry, health, or even digital deep techs. And like this week, we inaugurated the Maison du Quantique in the Grand-Est region. So we also know how to accompany quantum startups if you are one of them. What can we offer you? We can offer you a lot of things, but mostly, I'd say brain power to help you establish in the Grand-Est region and to make your startup a success in France. We help you find money. We help you connect with other startups and other person in the ecosystem. So the idea is that you are never alone. Also, you can access to offices, but also labs. So if you are health tech or biotech startups, we have a lot of facilities here in Strasbourg, but also in Reims, in the Champagne sub-region. So we can help you in a lot of ways. So feel free to ask. We just want to show you some of our latest success in different areas. So you have Superbranch, which is a biotech that raised 13 million euros, and they are developing nanoparticles to help some diagnosis in some tumors. Core Biogenesis, which is a bioeconomy, which is a biotech, but leaning to the bioeconomy side. So they raised 20 million. They are developing biofactories for the cosmetic industry. You have Blackleaf that developed graphene formula that you can actually produce because whether you need to find graphene. Sorry, I'm not an expert, but there is 7 million, and on the digital, I said sub part, we have a bag that was entirely bootstrapped, and that is now a full-fledged startup that is flying by their own wings, I'd say. So those are 4 examples of startups, of big startups that we accompany, and because Semia and Semia is existing since 1999. We have accompanied more than 1,000 startups since then, so we know how stuff when we help startups build and grow. Thank you, and I hope I wasn't too long.
Oh, it's okay. All good.
Just the last question. That was the last slide. You also get all the contact details. So if you have any questions, like obviously, needless to say, if you ever don't wish to be incubated, or obviously, or if you don't or cannot be incubated, I mean, obviously, everything that we've just mentioned, there's always ways around to get access to various regional and national grants program. And just an event I would like to point out on the 20th of May, the Grand-Est region is actually organizing a huge event, a whole day in Strasbourg. So the whole startup ecosystem will be present, so with Investors Day. So whoever is in Strasbourg wants to come to Strasbourg, lovely city, you're welcome, obviously, to join us there. And again, thanks a lot for listening to us. And again, welcome to Grand-Est.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dirk and Warren. And we continue with Karine from Bourgogne-Franche-Comté.
Yes, hello everyone. Thank you very much, the French Tech Berlin with André, Tanguy for this organization and the opportunity to introduce you the local help for startup in Bourgogne-Franche-Comté. I'm Karine Berger. I'm part of the Regional Economic Agency of Bourgogne-Franche-Comté, and with 50 other colleagues, we help companies to implement, to find building, to find support, financial help for their development, from creation to development. We are located at the southeast of Paris, and just close to Switzerland. And we benefit of a strategic location because of our location. We are the first region in terms of rail track. We have 6 international airports close to the main city of Dijon and Besançon, and 9 motorways, creating a strategic hub around the region. And we have a business-friendly environment too, because our 367,000 companies, we 80,000 students, and we are the 3rd export region in France. We are also known for our gastronomy and our wines as Nouvelle-Aquitaine. and in fact, in Dijon, we can find the International Gastronomy and Wine Center if you want to visit it. Bourgogne-Franche-Comté is an enabling environment for economic development. Indeed, in terms of French industrial excellence, more than 1 of 5 jobs are in industries, with almost 20,000 industrial firms, 10 industrial territories, and the main economic sectors of the region are hydrogen, healthcare, mainly with biotherapy, the medical device, also luxury, exceptional know-how, agri-food, mobilities, energy, logistics, digital, customer relation. In Bourgogne-Franche-Comté, we are the first region of RAD in terms of private investment classment of 2020, because we have a close cooperation between industry, education and training, research. In terms of research, we have 4 national research organizations, CEA, CNRS, INRAE, INSERM, and 6 competitiveness clusters with the main economic sector in food, in plastics, in the buildings area, in microtechnics. So you can find help in each sectors. We benefit of 8 hand service incubators, clusters, and 12 technological facilities. And we are the 2nd French agricultural region with 121 protected designation of origin protected geographical indication. In terms of startup support, we can provide financial support. The general financial supports are for the creation or growth of companies, the strategic consulting, material investment, executive search if you want to acquire new skills, and equity capital with OSE Bourgogne-Franche-Comté, which invests when you can find private investors, the region can invest by their side. We can have also financial support for innovation. For this, we have a grant named Presta Inno that can help innovation project at their beginning with a first grant, and then offer opportunities to have more financial support with, for example, the Regional Innovation Fund. And we have financial support for eco-design in terms of diagnostic, implementation, and machine and process investment. And all of this, we can find the regional innovation ecosystem. So I already talked about the financial help, but you can have also technical assistance for innovation projects. We organize group in webinars. We organize individual coaching by visiting companies and introduce partners to partners, and competitive cluster, technology transfer actor, technological centers. And we support we support also for the creation of innovative companies with our incubators and accelerators. We have a capital French Tech which animates the Bourgogne-Franche-Comté territory. So all of this creates a big regional innovation network that we animate this network at the agency. And in the last slide, you can find the 150 supporting structures, part of this network. Here you can see the ones which offer support to startup, but other offer information relay. The continuum of the support is highly appreciated by regional companies. We value this continuum with innovation prize each year. So please join us. And to finish, if you need any contact, any more information about our Bourgogne-Franche-Comté region and its startup support, please contact us. We can also provide you some detailed information on specific sectors according to your needs at the agency and with all the regional network. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Karine. So we are continuing with one very last person I wanted to have on stage. Jules Porret, I wanted to have you just after Aix-Marseille. I'm sorry,
yes.
I didn't do it before. You are working for French Tech Aix-Marseille. So can you give us an idea of like how you work?
Yes. Thank you, André. Hello, everyone. Back to the south to end on a sunny note. Sorry for the little problem. I'm Jules Porret, community lead at French Tech Aix-Marseille. Our global mission is to make France one of the greatest places in the world to launch and grow global companies that make sense for our future. And here in Aix-Marseille, we help to create and transform startups with high growth potential into value and job providers. So what we do exactly? All our actions aim to bring cohesion and visibility to the ecosystem. Every month we organize afterworks, which bring together over 60 people, help startups to access funding. We organize several meetings between startup and investor, one per month. These meetings are very qualified to enable a successful matching with 6 or 8 startups that exactly match the investment thesis of the funding coming to Marseille. Sustain startup internationalization with Provence promotions, for example. Support the recruitment of talents, and our key difference from other French tech is that we promote inclusive and sustainable technology. Thank you for your attention, and don't hesitate to send me an email if you have other questions. I'm Jules Porret on LinkedIn.
Thank you very much, Jules. Today you could see speakers who can help you at the regional level to find among the many structures that can help you who to contact and get some help. And then if you don't really know which region to choose from, you always have also Business France that can help you also better understand the specificities of each region and help you identify where to go and find the best match for you. I would like to thank Tanguy, who helped me organize this event today. Thank you to all of the French techs who also helped with the connections. Thank you very much, Business France, Stéphane Lapère, Laurent, Adeline, and the others. Thank you to all of the speakers of all of the regions that presented today. Really, once again, I learned a lot today, and I hope that you can connect. Many of you asked to be contacted by Business France or other institutions later, and you also added which regions are interesting for you. So I will share your contacts with the speakers and Business France so that you can be contacted back in the next few days. So thank you very much again. And also, yes, thanks to all of the French, international French techs who also have been wonderful to talk about this event and brought some startup founders from their regions. We can see some people here who are chatting. I see Romain, for example, from Krakow. I see Jean Murat and others. Thank you very much for your support. It's really a pleasure to organize an event with many different French tech from France and from international And yes, don't hesitate to get in touch with one another. Once again, you find a lot of the contacts of today on FrenchTechBerlin.com, on the page dedicated to the webinar, and the replay video will be published on that same page in the next few hours. Thanks again, and have a nice afternoon and nice weekend.